proof. More on the way. Kirk's breath caught. His phone slipped from his hand and clattered to the floor and one question hung in the air. What would the final DNA results reveal? And who would be left standing when the dust settled? Kendra barely slept that night, her mind racing through every detail of what she'd revealed. Dawn broke over Atlanta as she paced her living room, scrolling through headlines. Frost family implodes. Kendra's paternity bombshell. Truth or stunt? She felt sick to her stomach. The phone rang. Her private investigator. She answered immediately, voice trembling. "We got the lab report," he said. "It confirms Kirk's DNA matches. 99.9% probability." Kendra closed her eyes and exhaled. "So it's real," she whispered. "Yes," he replied gently. "But you did what you had to do for yourself and that child." She nodded, tears streaming down her cheeks. "I just hope people understand why I had to do it." He paused. "Now we deal with the fallout." Meanwhile, Kirk sat in his garage, head in his hands, replaying every moment. Rashida's voice echoed in his ears. "You lied to me. How could you do this?" He glanced at his phone. Dozens of missed calls and messages. Rashida pleading, Jock demanding answers, producers trying to schedule interviews. He slammed the phone against the wall once, then picked it up again. He texted Rashida, "Meet me at home in 30 minutes, please." She didn't respond. He wiped sweat from his brow, tears welling up. He whispered to himself, "How did it come to this?" On the reunion set, now weeks later, the atmosphere was heavy. Cameras rolled as the host reintroduced the cast for a follow-up special. "We promised to get to the bottom of the paternity mystery. Tonight, Kendra, Kirk, Rashida, and Jock return to discuss what happened since that explosive reunion." The audience cheered, though uneasily. The host continued, "First, we want to show you exclusive footage from the lab where Kendra's new test was run." The screen displayed grainy footage of a lab technician placing a vial on a scale, scanning barcodes and inputting numbers into a computer. The lab tech declared, "Paternity test confirmed. Kirk Frost is the biological father." The audience gasped. Some applauded. Others looked stunned. Rashida covered her mouth with her hand. Kirk's face drained of color. The host turned to Kendra. "How do you feel now that this is confirmed?" Kendra took a deep breath. Relieved and terrified. Relieved because the truth is finally out. Terrified because I know our families will never be the same. Jock nodded slowly, staring at Kendra. "I appreciate your honesty, Kendra. But it hurts like hell." Tears welled in his eyes. "I raised my little boy for years thinking he was mine. Now I don't know who I am." Rashida rose to her feet, wiping her eyes. "Kendra, why didn't you tell me sooner? We could have worked through this together." Her voice wavered. Kendra's gaze dropped. "I was scared you'd hate me. I was scared of losing everything. My friend, my family." Rashida's shoulders slumped. "You lost it anyway." She wrapped her arms around herself, silence filling the set. The host turned to Kirk. "Kirk, what do you say to all of this?" Kirk stood slowly, looking at Rashida with remorse. "I'm sorry, Rashida. I never meant for this to happen. I should have been upfront, told the truth, but I was ashamed. Ashamed of myself." Rashida shook her head sharply. "Ashamed? You ruined my life," Kirk continued, voice cracking. "I know, and I'll spend the rest of my life trying to earn back what I lost." He glanced at Kendra. "Kendra, I never asked you to get pregnant. I never forced anything. I thought it was just a drunk night. I was wrong. You deserve the truth." Kendra's tears fell freely. "I forgive you, Kirk, but I don't know if I'll ever trust you again." The host nodded. "This is raw, real, and painful. But now, how do we move forward?" Josie stood up. "I don't know if I can ever forgive either of you. Maybe I'll just leave Atlanta, find a fresh start. My son needs stability, not all this chaos. He paused, looking at his son's photo on a small table beside him. I'll have to figure it out. Rashida swallowed hard. Jock, if you leave, you're hurting our son too. You might hate Kirk, hate me, but that child still has a father and a mother under one roof. Jock shook his head. I can't pretend. Not after this. He walked off stage, his mic cutting out as he disappeared. The host glanced at Kendra and Kirk. With Jock stepping away, what about co-parenting? Can you and Kirk do that? Kirk nodded, stepping forward. I'll do whatever it takes. I love that baby more than anything. I'll move out, figure out a custody arrangement. I'll be there for him. Rashida's eyes softened. She took Kirk's hand. We'll get through this, but it'll take time. She turned to Kendra. Kendra, if you ever need anything, I was wrong to hit you. I'm sorry. Kendra accepted the apology with a nod. The cameras cut to a brief montage. Jock moving into a small apartment, hugging his son. Kirk and Rashida in family therapy sessions. Kendra dropping her son off at school, waving goodbye. And Rashida supporting Kendra at a prenatal follow-up. Each scene was accompanied by a slow, emotional score, signifying tentative healing but lingering pain. Then the host returned to set. Tonight's episode ends with families broken and maybe healing. But before we go, here's what fans are saying online. Live tweets scrolled. Kendra showed true courage. Jock deserves